Hello and welcome back to Blake's Den. So if you're new to the channel, this is my classic Ford 3000 tractor that I picked up the other day, and I've literally done nothing to it since I got it home. The plan for today is to get this wheel on and get it moved. That is the current wheel. Yeah, it's seen better days. Those wheel nuts are really stubborn. They've been on there possibly from new, maybe they've been changed once, but you know, you're talking 30 years of these bolts, so I'm going to see if I can get them off. One's already rounded off, one stud is snapped. I've been periodically spraying them with WD-40, but I think I've got a plan of how to get them off. So one thing I thought I'd mention, I have actually been done something on this, and I've cleaned up where the serial number should be, and there's a date stamp there which is 5F24G or 24C, is it? I think it's C. Basically this means it was built in June 1965. I think it's the 24th of June 65 in the afternoon shift. The tractor was launched in spring 1965, so this must be a very early example of it, so I'm quite pleased I found that out. So yeah, I do need to clean this whole thing up, but before I can clean it up I need to get the wheel on to move it, so let's try and get that wheel off. The first thing I want to do is hit everything down there with the wire brush. So I've got the wire brush on my cordless grinder, variable speed, that's on slow speed, and go around and clean up all those threads and all those nuts the best I can, so I can see what I'm dealing with. Right, I've hit them with the wire brush and given the liberal dose and WD-40. I buy this in bulk, 5 litres worth, and just put in a spray bottle. I haven't quite worked out what size these nuts are. I believe they are going to be imperial given the age of the tractor and the fact it was made in the UK and America at the same time. But I have found an 18-inch deep socket I've got which fits over just quite snug. So I'm going to put that on and see if I can get the breaker bar on and see if any of these will turn ever so slightly. So this is the 18mm deep socket I've got. I'm going to try and get this on in a position where I can then put the breaker bar on and give it some leverage. So let's see if I can get that on. I say it's a tight fit, but I want it tight so it doesn't slip off. So, not the right way to use the tool, by the way. Right, I'm going to have to give that a bit more of a hammer, and then, because it's still got about that much to go before it's bottomed out, so I'll give that a whack with a hammer then see if it'll come off. Right, that's hammered on now, so I can get the big breaker bar on. Well, not big breaker bar, but it's the only one I've got, so if I can see if I can get a little bit of movement out of this, I'll then swap to the impact driver, see whether that'll come off. Let's try it, put my foot on the bar. Something's going there. Now it's either about to shear off or it's turning. Let's go back a bit and see how it feels. I think I might be on the verge of shearing, but never mind. We'll give it a go with this. So I'll put it up to the max. Put that on and noise alert. That'll be a no then. Let's go back to the breaker bar and see what I can get out of it. Okay. Yep, there we are. It sheared off as I thought it would do. So that's 2 I've sheared off now. Luckily, I can still be able to put the wheel on afterwards because I've got opposite corners. Right, I think we need to go to plan B, which is heat. So I have got a heat torch, a little butane torch, but I don't think it's going to cut the mustard. So I bought myself this. What's on the other end? We have a propane tank. So hopefully that'll give a bit more heat to get these off. So I'm just going to heat them up, give them sort of a heat cycle, let them cool down a bit, and hopefully they'll come off. And the heat will cause everything to expand and the rust to break. If you saw my last video on the Audi, you know I'm quite cautious about fire near vehicles. So I've taken precautions. I've got the garden hose at hand should this catch fire. But let's plan for it not catching fire. So right, I'll get you set up and we'll get this filmed. Quite a lot of grease and dirt on there. That might be a problem. We'll let that burn off. The top there, I've had heat on it for a while, and I've got the impact gun on, and hopefully it'll come off. Noise alert. It's coming. That's coming off. Fantastic. Managed to get 2 of them undone. So about 5 minutes at gas mark 9. Try to avoid burning all the grease off the hub. And hopefully this one will come off as well. This one's slightly rounded off, but I hammered the socket on beforehand. And it sort of went on and sort of cleaned it up a bit. So hopefully I'll be able to get the socket on after. But yeah, I'll just sit here, hold my can, watch the world go by, and then 5 minutes time this should come undone. Yeah, that worked. There it is inside the socket. But it's now stuck in the socket. So I'm going to show you a top tip how to get a stuck nut out of the socket. It never fails. So that means it will be guaranteed to fail when I film it. The plan that never fails. I've got my socket with the nut stuck in it. I've just put a bit of bar in the end, threaded bar, so that the hole is sealed. Then got a punch. You can use a screwdriver, you can use whatever you want. And pick it up and then drop it from a height. And it should eventually, over time, knock the nut out. See, the higher you drop it, the more oomph you get. And if you don't believe me, you can see it coming out there now. So just do a few more drops. Yep, definitely coming. Ta-da! There we are. So no messing about with grinders or vices or anything, just drop it on the floor basically. Now this last nut I need to get off, it is completely rounded off. That was due to me using the wrong socket on it to start off with, and it sort of machined itself. So yeah, it took quite a lot of the flats off. So instead of cutting it off, I'm going to try a nut breaker, which is one of them things. So it's basically got like a chisel in it. Turn the screw, chisel drives in, nut pops off. I've never had this like any success with this tool at all. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Got my impact gun to drive it, so I don't have to basically use a big torque wrench or break a bar or something like that. So yeah, let's see what happens. It may get noisy this bit. Well, it is actually cut it. It hasn't cut it all the way to the back, but it's actually done something. I do. I might try that again in a different position. Yeah, I think it has broken it. You know, it looks like it is splayed open a bit. It's just a bit awkward to get in, really. I could do with jacking this up, which I need to do soon anyway. that's on the verge of coming off now. I think just a couple of hits with a normal chisel, just splay that out and boom, it'll be off. Just have to jack it up ever so slightly just to take the pressure off the nut, because the wheel was sort of slipping off and pressing against it. But now that turns very easily, he says. So it's pretty much at the end of the thread, and I think it's just getting a bit hung up right on the end. So hopefully a few more knocks and it'll be off. There we are. So now that is off and I've got a fairly undamaged thread in one mulled nut. It's now another day again for reasons. I've jacked this up using my big jack and a piece of wood or piece of tree. It actually is a lot more stable than that looks, not as sketchy as I thought it would be. Right, I'm going to whip this wheel off, put the new, use the word new very loosely there, wheel on, and I'm going to make sure all of the threads are covered in copper slip grease, so there's a fighting chance it'll come off again. Just thought I'd show you this whilst I've got it apart. See, no brakes on the front. Not many tractors do, there's only really the big massive ones have brakes on the front, so yeah, just a kingpin and an axle assembly. The studs, which I have broken off, I have got some replacements of those, but I'm deliberately not going to do that now. I think I'm going to need a hydraulic press to press them out, and I'll probably have to take that whole assembly off. They may come out if I just bray on them and hammer them out, but yeah, I don't really want to do that whilst it's bouncing on a jack. So I'm going to get the new wheel on, and you see I've put lots of copper slip on. And there she is, sort of back together and sort of on four wheels. Obviously I'm missing two sets of bolts, or nuts, sorry, but I think that'll be enough for now. I'm not going down the road with this, just need to get it moving. These are the new studs that I bought. Came with nuts, and the nuts are actually bigger. They're 23 across flats. These are 19, or probably 3/4 of an inch across flats, and 19.05. So I think that was one of the changes they made from the pre-Force to the Force, as bigger wheel nuts. You just couldn't seem to get those ones, so I just got the studs and the bigger nuts, so I'll do them another day. Few final little jobs I want to do before I wrap up the video. First one, will the tyres take any air? You should have tubes in, but whether the tubes have been damaged when I've been moving it, that's the question. Well, it seems to be going up. Don't need a lot of PSI in tractor tyres. That's 2 bar, 30 PSI. And that's about as brave as I feel. So I'll come back in the day and see whether that goes down. And I'll do the same on the back. This back one's completely flat, so let's see what happens here. Doing something, I think. That could be a problem. I think there's like a little ring around this. I think that needs to be wound in a bit more. But I can't work out why all the air is coming out. Is there a hole in the tube? I'm not sure. Definitely doing something. Yeah, I don't think you should be doing that. Let me investigate that further. Definitely got a bit of a dodgy valve going on here, or a dodgy inner tube, but I can sort of get it in a position where it will take air and will hold air, but it's very delicate. You see the tyre's gone up now, so that is definitely taking air, taking plenty of air. I'm hoping that if it's the tube gone, or like a bit damaged by the valve stem, you get enough pressure in it, it might just put it in a position where it's fine. So let's see, what are we at there in terms of pressure? 10 psi. We'll keep going and see what we can get. Yeah, I can hear it leaking around the valve stem. I've got no water to test it, but I've got some WD-40. I may be able to get away with it. It may do for now. Luckily I know where there's some spare wheels, which may do the job. Really I need a spare inner tube, but I'm going through the pain of taking the wheel off. I might as well just whack a new wheel on. It's nearly 20 psi now. Oh, we'll see how that goes then, see how long that lasts for. Well, sadly rain has stopped play. Yeah, that's still leaking. It's going to need a new tube or a whole new tyre. I mean, the wheel's not that best, the one on the other side's not best, but it'll do for now. I'll see if I can make it any better, but I think in reality I'm just polishing a turd there. You could say that about the whole thing, to be honest. Right, I'm going to leave that video there for now, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, press the like button, comment on the video, and please click subscribe. In the next video, this will be running. I'm confident of that. So that's my plan. Get it cleaned, get it running, put it to use. So, okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.